Welcome guys, today's video we're going to talk about the top 5 decks for the One Piece card game Paramount War set. Guys, this video has been long overdue. I've been planning on making this video for a while now. Just took me a little bit longer to playtest and perfect the ratios on the decks. But without further ado guys, let's jump in. We'll discuss what makes these decks extremely strong, and we'll show you guys exactly what we believe is the best decks in the set so you can play these decks, and we'll show you and try to inspire you with our own lists, and hopefully you guys will gain some value from this. So without further ado, let's jump in and discuss what makes these decks extremely strong in Paramount War. Let's go. Coming up in number 5 guys, the Black Navy deck is absolutely strong. If you love control, if you love disruption, this is the deck for you guys. Smoker, one of the best leaders in black currently for the Paramount War set, in my opinion. His ability is, as long as he has one Dawn underneath him, once per turn, you can reduce the cost of one of the opponent's characters by 1. If there's a character on the field, doesn't matter where it is, if it's a character that costs 0, then you gain plus 1000, allowing this to become a 7k beater easily with one Dawn underneath it. Also allowing you to reduce the cost of opponent's characters, and this can be translated into a lot of value when we play cards like 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 that allow us to reduce even more when we attack by 4 costs. And Tashigi can reduce by 2 as well. We get a lot of cost reduction from Zoro as well. And we actually added 𝐿𝐈𝐓𝐷 into this set. This is a card that's very unique to this list. We kind of teched it in. This is very good card in combination against Zoro decks or aggressive decks against you. You basically have an out. You get an extra card potentially from the shields to come land. You get a little bit extra reduction of cost, as well as a little bit more power potentially. 𝐿𝐿𝐈𝐓𝐷 is absolutely a strong card here, so we added it just for that aggressive meta to kind of be able to deal with it a little bit easier. The reason we have so much cost reduction, guys, is because we're able to remove characters based on their cost. With Kobe, here we can KO anything that costs 3. Combined with Smoker, you can basically get rid of anything with cost of 4. But if you combine it with 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐓, you can get rid of anything with cost of 7. If you combine that with the Smoker, anything with cost of 8 for 1 card from your hand. That's actually absolutely amazing. It is going to cost you about 4 Dawn, but that's absolutely amazing. Another removal we have here is Sakazuki. This is the best removal we have. We get a 7k beater when we land this guy, as well as removing anything cost 5. Of course, with 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐶, you can remove anything cost 9. Combined with Smoker, basically remove anything in the game. I haven't seen anything that costs more than 10, obviously, because you only get maximum 10 Dawn. So absolutely incredible amount of removal we have. Guys, it also combines with some of our events here. We do have Meteor Volcano, so if we can get some cost reduction, we get easy, cheap removal. I've added a couple of cards here, guys. If you feel ahead, this is a great option to play Smoker. When you're a little bit ahead, this keeps you ahead and keeps the advantage going. 7k beater, does not get KO'd by card effects, so sits there on the field once he lands forever. And the opponent wants to get rid of him. The reason why is because if there's any character that costs 0, as long as he has 1 Dawn underneath him, making him an 8k beater, he can attack for a double attack. So the opponent wants to remove this 100%, but it's going to be very hard for him to remove it at 7k. Really good card to have when you're got a little bit of an early advantage. We're able to control the opponent well. Another card is 𝐒𝐎𝐍𝐶, really strong towards the late game. Basically gives you all the removal, activates all the removal extremely easily, and you get a really strong character on the field. Guys, I do want to end this segment here with Impact Wave. Guys, I want to talk a bit about it. Very strong event, one of the best counters in the game. Can remove a cost of 4 when countering. Basically, you can remove a blocker and kind of guarantee your next turn, or remove another attacker that was gonna rush into you. Really strong against aggressive decks like Zoro decks that really just beat your face up. And so we love this card. Absolutely amazing. It's one of the best events in the game, 100%. So this is the list, guys. This is my pride and joy. This is my Smoker deck. Get inspired, guys, and let's move on to top 4. We'll talk about that next deck next. Alright guys, in top 4 we got a green colored deck with Kinemon as its main leader. Guys, if you don't know what Kinemon does, absolutely insane leader. We've never seen any ability like this before, but basically he can reduce the cost of one of his Wano counties that cost 3 or more by 1, as long as you have 1 or less characters on the field. So your first card, if you go first, if you go first turn, second, you're gonna be able to play out on Okiku turn 1. Absolutely amazing because you can reduce this cost by 1. Also, you can push out a Raizo, which is not ideal, but you gain a character super early on the field that can give you a lot of extra resources. Absolutely amazing. This is a character leader that can unlock a lot of potential here. So basically we mixed up the best Ueno County cards and added them into this deck with Aizo here for a little bit more disruption, being able to control the opponent and really strong counter value. Nico Mamushi here, another disruptor, being able to control some of these small blockers the opponent has to maybe potentially end game or slow down the opponent. We also have for the Ueno County, obviously Yamato. Yamato is extremely strong, going first. If you went first, turn 2 you can play this card and basically get rid of the blocker that the opponent played, or whichever card if he did play, by siding it, by resting it and then attacking into it with your leader. And basically you start developing an amazing advantage with a 6k beater turn 2 that's on the field and the opponent has nothing to deal with this Yamato. One way to deal with this Yamato is a jet pistol, so you do want to be careful with that, but it's still extremely valuable to push out turn 2. Absolutely incredible combination there. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about other cards here. We do have some blocking, but this Toki is very unique. You need a Kozuki Odin on the field. This Yamato or the actual original Kozuki Odin will work, but so make sure you guys understand that this Toki will not activate its blocking without that. So our main blocker is going to be the killer. Killer gives you a lot of resources when you block, so you want to try to activate that every single time. Another reason why we want to gain so much resources, we notice this deck really does struggle with losing its hand. So you do want to take some early damage, and you do want to pull off the searchers from Jewelry Bonnie and Kazuki Momonosuke. You really want to pull off these cards. You don't want to whiff on these searches. So you really want to try to time this in a good time where you feel like you got a good chance to pull the cards you need. And I just want to finalize, guys, this deck list. We're talking about these big guys over here. I think these are the two only big guys you'll ever need. If you can push out an Odin when you have 7 Dawn, and then play the Kid when you have 9 Dawn the next turn, you're basically securing game because you don't block at all the turns before. You take all that damage. Now you have a big hand. You're able to play these two. The turn you play this captain, you're going to play this killer at the same time, or another blocker potentially, giving this captain basically allowing this captain to be more secure, and you're going to start blocking and countering for that captain. If you're able to counter and stop the opponent and save this kid for 2 turns, you basically 100% land and win this game 100% no matter what. So absolutely amazing combo. You don't want to be protecting your cards too early. You want to keep them for this combination here. If you can get an Odin out and then a Kid right after it, absolutely insane. It's going to be very hard for the opponent to deal with it. Another thing you could do is, instead of this Odin, maybe you run that 7-cost Eustace, but obviously we're running the Kinemon leader and we wanted to push out the Odin. Odin is, I think, more value. I know that is a blocker, but the double attack can really do a lot of damage to the opponent at 8k. Absolutely amazing. And finally, guys, I do want to talk about Punk Gibson. Very strong event. You do want it at 2 minimum. I wouldn't run anything less than that. It can really win you games. If you hit it in the shield as a final shield, it could save you games. If you counter, it could win you games because you arrest the blockers and secure games next turn. Absolutely incredible. So make sure you guys get inspired by this list. And let's move on to top 3 and talk about what makes that deck so strong. Maybe you guessed it, maybe not. Whitebeard comes up at top 3, one of the most fiercest pirates in the series. Absolutely is making waves in the actual Paramount War set, guys. Absolutely strong leader that can do a lot of work against the opponent and can reduce his life points very quickly. So we'll talk about the leader, what he does. Basically, at the end of your turn, you just add 1 card from the top of your deck to your hand. But what makes him unique is that he's a 6k base, making it extremely hard to play against. You gotta have to actually have some practice against the Whitebeard to kind of play against him correctly. Other than that, you're actually gonna mistime your attacks. Maybe you'll miscounter Dawns, and so it does make this deck extremely powerful that a lot of people do not know how to play against it. Just talking a little bit about the deck, we just have Otama for the counter value. Also can be good, you know, reduction in case you want to bash some blockers into the face. That's what we added the ace here for. Really, you want to try to push out ace when you do have that 7 Dawn. If not, you want to push out one of these big guys and keep these 6k or 7k beaters on the field. They're extremely strong. The opponent is not going to be able to deal with them very easily, and they're going to just allow you to pressure the opponent heavy when it comes towards the late game when you have very little amount of life. We do have Nami here just because we don't have a Whitebeard Searcher, but when we do have that Whitebeard Searcher, we're going to switch this deck out a little bit, remove all those Straw, Hat, Kais, and add some more Whitebeard. Monkey D. Luffy here just for the counter value, of course. Could be potentially strong, but really we don't use that a lot. We have Vista at 3. You can run him at 4, extremely strong. Love playing him, getting rid of, you know, playing him against Zoro is really good. Love playing him, getting rid of a character that the opponent was not expecting to get rid of. Also, you can get rid of small blockers. Absolutely amazing, really valuable. We are running, obviously, Marco at 4. You do want to see this Marco as many times as you can. And you do want to play it when you have the 2 life, because the opponent just gets screwed. It's very hard to play around that. We are running the new gate at 4, so we almost want to play it every single time we get to 9 Dawn. We want to play that out. It's extremely powerful to have an 8k Whitebeard. Usually 7k is not that powerful, but 8k, they need at least 3 Dawn just to attack with on you as a leader. Absolutely incredible. Edward Newgate, you want to push it out every single time you want, also allowing you to keep the extra life. Absolutely amazing. So you do want to counter a little bit early, because our strategy is to push out this Newgate every single game. We want to push out 1 or 2 every single game. Of course, Luffy, we have this to maybe end games potentially if there's a big strong blocker. We could end games, but he's not really a big priority. We do prioritize these big beefy guys much more. Actually, guys, I think we messed up the ratio. Maybe we could reduce one of these big guys by 1, but that's about it, really. Besides that, it seems very, very strong. We just messed up the ratio by 1. But yeah, guys, deck is very strong. We have some radical beams here for protection towards the late game. You could find room for guard points. I think that's very valuable as well, guard points. Maybe get rid of some of the aces if you don't like that strategy. But I see some value in ace against certain decks. And so we really like this deck. We really like how it looks. I'm very interested in your opinions, guys, about it. Does this look good to you? Would you ever try it? Leave that comment down below, and let's move on and talk about the top 2 decks. Let's go. All right, guys, moving on to number 2, we got Traflagar Law. You know we were gonna put this at 2nd place. It's been winning and topping big treasure events, treasure cup events, but we didn't put it at 1st place because we do believe there's one more deck stronger than it. So stay tuned. We will show you that deck. But let's talk a little bit about the Law. Absolutely amazing. Activate main once per turn for 2 Dawn. You can, if you have 5 characters, return 1 of them to the hand and play 1 character cost 5 or less of a different color than the character you pulled to the field for free. Or basically for the 2 Dawn. Absolutely amazing. You can do amazing combination with this. Pick up something small like a big A for 1. Playing something huge like... well, actually, you would pick up a Tony because it's a red. And you play something huge like Law. Or this Law, which picks up another card. Maybe like the Nami and plays it again. Or it could pick up something small like the Zoro and play it again. Absolutely amazing. The combinations and the playability and... the actual combos you can pull off in this deck is endless. You have Vistas here as well. Absolutely every time amazing. Amazing in this deck. Every time he lands, he can get some removal. You could use him, combine him with the Law, remove 2 blockers in 1 turn. Obviously extremely cheap with the Law ability, the leader ability. Very, very strong, guys. And we have some extra red cards here in Brook, Makino, and Otama. We do like these 2k counters in red, and they are really good options to pull off, pick up, so you can play these big, amazing, strong green characters. So this is something that you should notice, guys. You see how our red characters are extremely cheap, whereas our green characters are extremely expensive. That's because we're picking up red, playing green, picking up red, playing green. That's what we're gonna try to do. It's gonna be very rare that we're gonna pick up a green to play red, unless we can potentially end game. So we're always trying to maybe pick up a Nami to play that Law, or another Law to pick up maybe the Zoro and play him again. Absolutely endless amounts of potential. Or maybe pick up an Otama, play her again, so we can get a 10k removal. I've done that before. And so, or attack twice with the Zoro, or we could play Vista twice. Whatever you guys want, whatever you can imagine, this deck does. And maybe you thought you can't get any removal. Well, here, we'll added some X Drake for you guys. Test it out. I like this at 2. I think it's perfect ratio for this. Just, I do see a lot of value in this. I believe every opponent will always have some 4k or less rested, especially when you're playing against Zoro, right? So it's really going to be beneficial for you to get a 6k on the field, as well as remove one of the opponent's biggest, strongest beaters. Absolutely amazing. We run 2 jet pistols. Maybe you can find room for 3 or 4, and no other defensive options, because what happens is you're just so effective at playing small guys and gaining value from them, and gaining big value by playing bigger guys, that the opponent is almost going to be always trying to catch up with you. Even though you have 4 life, you're always going to be ahead of the opponent. And so it's almost going to be like the opponent is going to be attacking to your characters, kind of making you a little bit healthy. And so we don't need that many events to counter and protect us. All our protection is going to be from these small blockers on the field, and the obviously big blockers. And we have all these 2k counters to help as well with our protection. So that's the deck, guys. I'm very interested in your opinions. What do you think about this list? I think it's perfect. Let me know down below. And I know you've been waiting for this, guys. Let's move on. Let's talk about the number 1 deck in this video. Let's go. This is the deck that I believe will win and top most of the treasure cups in the Paramount War set. So let's go and talk about it. Alright, guys, before I bring you the number 1 deck in this video, the deck that will be one of the most consistent, strongest decks in the Paramount War set, and that will probably win most of the treasure cup events, I want to ask you for a favor, guys. We're trying really hard to grow this channel. We're working really hard. This is my dream. I would love to bring you guys value. I want to make this a full-time commitment. So please help me. Go ahead, click like, subscribe if you like this content. We'll bring you a lot more One Piece content, and we'll bring you a lot more card game content in general. Our goal is to bring you value. Our goal is that every video you watch, you learn and grow exponentially at least 16 times more than previously before watching the video. So all our videos you'll gain a lot of value from them. So please help us. Click like if you like this video. If you don't, I guess click dislike, that's fine. Subscribe, because we're going to make a lot of One Piece card game content. We're doing a lot of Battle Spirits content, and we're also going to maybe get into Lorcana as well. And besides that, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what deck you like the most. And let's go. Let's talk about the number 1 deck right now. Alright, guys, this is the number 1 deck in the Paramount War set. I believe this deck will be winning the most amount of treasure cups. This deck is the most consistent deck and has an answer for basically every other matchup. This is the Zoro red deck, guys. Absolutely amazing. This leader is so strong. For 1 dawn, he gives every other character plus 1000, allowing you to play very small, cheap characters and still make them fierce and scary to the opponent. Look at our characters, guys. There is barely anything above the cost of 3. Barely anything. We only run 3 cards above the cost of 3, and it's just the new gate, and it's just a nice option to have late game if the opponent's still alive. if he is alive, because look at the amount of pressure we have, guys. Amazing. We have really good search. We're pulling off at least 2 to 3 characters every single turn. The same time we're playing them off, we're gaining by gaining cards. Like Curly the Dawn will give us plus cards. Naomi will plus us some cards. Vista will be able to allow us to reduce the amount of characters on the opponent's field. Robin is absolutely insane value. Once she lands, the opponent has to get rid of her. She's absolutely scary, very disruptive, stops every single blocker on the opponent's side of the field. Absolutely scary. The opponent wants to deal with it somehow. Running 3 off is absolutely a must, in my opinion, maybe even a 4th. would be nice. We also get to play amazing events. Look at our events, guys. We get Jet Pistol at 3, answer for any Yamato early game, or anything else that could be crazy. Especially with the Otama, we could combine this and get an 8k removal. This is what you guys need. You are going to need 4 Otamas, potentially 4 Jet Pistols, because Kinemon Kid is an actual strategy against the Zoro deck. You could literally be winning and get the Kinemon to 0 life. The second that Kid lands, there's almost no way for you to deal with it efficiently, except if you can just Otama Jet Pistol and kill that captain. Basically secure game. So you do want to keep these Jet Pistol for anything that's 8k, maybe an Odin, maybe a Kid like we talked about earlier, or anything big that's 8k. You're easily removable with this Jet Pistol. I would not use it up early. We do have some radical beams towards the late game. We do apply a lot of pressure. Sometimes the opponent will think he can end us quickly because we have very little amount of hand, but we'll be able to defend ourselves effectively with the radical beam. Absolutely amazing. Curly the Dawn just gives you so much value. Sunny Con is just so nice to be able to play a Sunny Con into a Curly the Dawn and just keep playing stuff out. And then Magara is just going to give more power to the Sunny or to the Nami or to anything really. Makino applies a lot of extra pressure as well as, and also gives you an amazing 2k counter. Absolutely broken, amazing. This broken end games. You play him, get the 2 Dawn underneath somebody else. If you don't need that counter, it's going to be very aggressive play right there. Getting a character on the field as well as 2 Dawn underneath another person to apply a little bit extra pressure. Absolutely an amazing play. Vista, like we talked about, guys, very strong. 4 of the Zoro, he's your main guy. You want to try to push him off. He's attacking for 6k. Every time you play him, he's attacking for 6k. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, this is the deck, guys. I love this deck. I'm very interested in your opinions about this deck. Talk to me. Let me know what you guys think about it. And yes, that was it. That was the top 5 decks for the Paramount War set. So there you have it, guys. These are top 5 decks for the Paramount War set in One Piece card game. Let us know down below which deck do you think you're going to use. Tell me if you like this video. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me I love this video. If not, go ahead, leave me a comment. Tell me you suck at making videos. And besides that, if you liked it or not, you have to subscribe. I'm pushing so much content to you. I'm bringing you so much value, and you're going to not regret it. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys next time. Let's go get that booty, boys. Let's go.